Yeah, on the ball spreads prediction show, guys, coming to you live on June 30th, 2026. Where is the last day of the month, man? Profitable month we've had, cashed a lot of big parlays. We hit 4 home run parlays last week. We cashed 2 correct score parlays with soccer. I mean, we've been rolling this month with the parlay side of things. Play of the days and locks, about a 50-50 trade-off. But look, when you're cashing parlays and splitting the locks at about 55% right now, it's been a down month as far as some of the locks goes. But overall, having a really good month. Still in profit, plenty of green in the pocket. And let's get to it. Let's talk MLB. All right, guys. But before we do that, I just want to thank Onyx Odds for spending 10 and giving us 200. Use code word on the ball for those new users here. Once again, spend 10 with Onyx Odds. You'll get 200 in bonus bets. Use code word on the ball. That link is in the descriptions tab. All right, let's get back to it and let's get ready to get into the show, guys. First off, if you want my premium plays, it is in the descriptions tab under the winnable link, as well as Blowout Alert. You can sign up for free today, unlock all the free features, leading the industry in data and analytics. This app has absolutely changed my life and the process behind my handicapping, guys. I highly recommend you get it, you download it, and sign up for free. This is a phenomenal app. It saves you a lot of time. If you just want to go in here and look at what Miguel Vargas is doing, you click and you see that this guy's been getting a hit almost every game. He's got an absolute through the roof slugging percentage over the last 10. So there's a lot to go off of here. You can dive in and you can do a really deep dive, or you can do something as simple as going over here, clicking on this game, seeing what edges they have. It's going to be a pitcher run dominated run environment, so you're probably going to look at the under here. You're probably going to take Philly minus 1.5, or just pay the juice and take them on the money line. Maybe the first 5 with Chris Sanchez on the mound, even though he's given up a little bit of sharp contact over his last couple starts. But let's get into the slate, guys. Here, first one up is going to be the White Sox taking on the Orioles. It's going to lean here on this one. Chicago White Sox starting pitcher is going to be Eric Fetty. Trevor Rogers still to be determined, but I believe it is going to be Rogers here today. White Sox have a better run differential. What we've seen over the last week or so is the teams with better run differential have won. Baltimore plays better at home. Fetty has a low strikeout rate. Guy doesn't throw a ton of strikeout stuff. As you see, 2, 4, 4, 4, 2, 3. He's got a higher walk rate as well. So if you want to look at 2 negative points here, he's got a low strikeout rate, 14%. I think I said 13. And then an elevated home run rate. He averages about 2.2 home runs. He's given up 9, I think, in all of his starts on the season. So this is the only thing. The run prevention against a really good home hitting team with Taylor Ward, Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso, Basallo. You've got some really good hitters on this Orioles team. I think I want to back the Orioles here today in this one, especially in a 50-50 game where Blowout Alert isn't giving it a true edge. So go ahead, give me the Orioles here on the money line. Let's go over here to the radar where we have our watch list. Make sure it is cleared. Yes, it is. And as you can see, it shows you off of our watch list down here, once we click back on it in red and green, what cleared and what didn't. So as you can see, we had more green than red yesterday. But overall, it was a day where we were just slightly in profit, kind of trading blows, but overall, made some money. All right, guys, let's get back into it. We're going to clear the radar screen. All you got to do is click this to add to your radar. So we're going to take the Orioles on the money line in that one. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. We got Chris Sanchez on the mound. The run differential has been better for the Phillies. There are some big bats in the Pirates lineup. It is a little scary at times because Sanchez has given up some sharper contact. But I'm going to believe in the bats here, continue to stay hot for the Phillies. Chris Sanchez keeps the Pittsburgh Pirates off the board today. Phillies bounce back and get a win. This was our play yesterday, our MLB lock of the day yesterday. I don't think that Bubba Chandler is going to be able to create enough strikeout stuff here. He's only had 5 Ks over his last 2 games. He does have it in him to really throw some really good stuff. I just believe that the Phillies here today are the better play on the run line with the value. So give me the Phillies here on the run line. I agree with those edge points in the Philly side of things here from Blowout Alert. So let's move on to the next one, guys, where we got the Texas Rangers taking on the Cleveland Guardians. This one is a 50-50 ball game. And I always say you kind of go with the underdog in a 50-50, but the price isn't hateful at minus 123 with the Rangers. I think DeGrom is the better pitcher over Tanner Bybee, even though Bybee, who was one of the worst pitchers in the MLB in his first few weeks of the season, has kind of picked it up here over the last 6. Only 3 earned runs, 0, 2, 3, 0. His K stuff has improved. If you look over here, there are some key points. The run differential, once again, that edge is going to the Rangers. I think that's a very important edge when you're selecting a team, because that means the bats are hot. And we've seen so many times, like with the Diamondbacks, they get runners on scoring position, or the Tigers, they get runners in scoring position, but they don't drive them in. Runs are what wins ball games. Starting pitchers give the bats a longer opportunity to score runs. And if they don't score runs, the team can still lose. And that's what we see a lot of times with these really great starting pitching matchups. Sometimes the bats aren't just backing them up. They're not there. I think the bats will back DeGrom up more than the bats will back up Bybee. So give me the Texas Rangers here at minus 123 on the money line, and we'll keep it moving. All right, Tigers and the Yankees. We went Yankees yesterday. It felt like a spot play for them to bounce back after taking 3 losses in a row. They're now on number 4. I don't like what I've seen out of the Yankees here. They're facing Skubal. The Tigers have been hitting the ball better. They've got a clear edge on the run differential. And honestly, Skubal had a better numbers in his road start than he did at his home start. So go ahead and give me Skubal and the Tigers here today on the money line at minus 104. We'll keep it moving in another 50-50 coin flip type matchup. All right, we got the Mets in Toronto. I do not like this game, but hey, look, you got Kevin Gausman on the mound, who has given up a ton of earned runs early in these games. And you got Nolan McLean here doing kind of the same thing, 6 earned runs in his last start. But we do know Nolan McLean is the better pitcher in this rotation for the Mets. I went Mets yesterday thinking that could be a spot they could get it done with Manaea facing a team that has struggled to hit lefties. McLean is a righty. This Toronto Blue Jays team has hit righties better. You know, look, let's just go back to the well here on this one. Let's take the value. Let's go to the Mets, minus 101. I think Nolan McLean is the better pitcher. If you wanted to go with the first 5 on the Mets, that might be the better play because then it's just pitcher versus pitcher, lineup versus lineup. And I think that today, what I've seen out of Gausman, the Mets might be able to find some early runs. I probably recommend taking the first 5 and fading, getting the bullpens involved. So yeah, give me the first 5 on the Mets here, and we'll keep it moving into the Nationals, taking on the Red Sox, where we've got Cade Cavalli and Conley early. I always want to call him Connor early, but it's Conley early. What a weird first name, Conley. Hey, Conley, come here. Hey, Conley. Guys, all right, I'm wilding out right now. Let me just reel it in and get back to the show, man, and make some money. Run differential goes to Boston. I believe the better starting pitcher edge goes to Cavalli. Look, he's got a better FIP at 3.59. He edges out early by who has a 4.71 FIP. ERAs are similar. Let's take a look at the direction these ERAs have been trending. Early has been playing below his ERA over the last 2 starts. He did have that Rangers game. Like I said, Rangers have been peppering lefties. Early's at lefty. Look, they took him for 6 earned runs there, 11 hits. Rangers have been absolutely dialed on lefties here this month in June. Earned runs, Cavalli's just been consistent with his earned runs outside of that Arizona Diamondbacks, and that was early June. Diamondbacks were hot in May, not so much in June. But here, look, guys, I'm going to go with the Washington Nationals plus 109. I like the bats: Luis Garcia, James Wood, Curtis Mead, C.J. Abrams, Liley, Jacob Young. They've got a lot of good young bats in that lineup. Even though the Red Sox have been hitting the ball really well and they have a better run differential, I'm going to fade the run differential here. Believe in Cavalli, believe in the bats for the Nats to get it done. If you don't want to play the bullpens here, this is another spot where you might want to look at the first 5. Go with the Washington Nationals on the first 5 or the money line. All right, that's where we're going on this one. Next one up, St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Atlanta Braves. I don't think it's Grant Holmes today on the mound. I think it's Perez versus Liberatore. This feels like a spot to try and grab the Braves, even though it's at minus 149. I would have thought that the price would have been a little bit better for the Braves. Maybe around a minus 120 with their hitting woes, the struggles that they've had. Liberatore, on the other hand, hasn't been the best pitcher in this lineup. 6 earned runs, 5, 4, 3. I think the Braves can get it done. I think they can win this thing today. Go ahead and give me the Braves here on the money line. They got to start turning a corner here soon before the All-Star break. So we'll go Braves there on that one. Next one up, Cincinnati Reds taking on the Brewers. This, to me, is a 3-point edge, and I agree with Blowout Alert calling this out to the Brewers side. I think it's a run line play. They've got home field advantage. They've got 51 wins on the season. The better starting quality pitcher in Brandon Sprout over Louder. The run differential is clear there as well. Brandon Sprout is going in the better direction here as of late. You know, he had some struggling moments there in May, but here in June, look, 1 earned run, 4, 0, 3. He's starting to bring that into a better direction. He was pitching around a 7 ERA. He's bringing that ERA down. I think Louder, he's been respectable at times, but here in his last few starts has given up some earned runs. I think this is a team you don't want to be giving up early earned runs to because they play small ball. They can grind a game out. They do have a really good bullpen. The bullpen is significantly better than the Reds. If this is a tight game, I lean Brewers, but I do believe Brewers can pull away early and win this thing handedly. So give me the Brewers here on the run line, and we'll keep it moving. All right, Rays and Kansas City Royals. Great matchup, great game because you got Griffin Jacks taking on Noah Cameron. In my opinion, Noah Cameron, one of the better pitchers in this rotation. Griffin Jacks has shown us inconsistency at times, but he's also shown us that he's a stud. Look, 0 earned runs, 2, 0, 0, 6, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. You know, I said inconsistency, and the one that jumped out at me is probably because I probably took Griffin Jacks against Detroit here, and that's what's sticking out at me. I'm like, damn, he gave up 6 earned runs. We haven't seen much inconsistency out of Griffin Jacks this season. We know that the bats are way more active for the Rays when they play at Tropicana. This team has been hitting the ball really well. The Kansas City Royals have. Look, they got a good starting pitching edge, but not by a lot. I do like Noah Cameron here. The home field advantage is to the Royals. The Royals have been playing really good ball. But Tampa Bay's run differential is just hard to overlook. Clear 4 runs. I know a lot of that comes from the stretch that they had down there in Tropicana. But with Griffin Jacks giving up such little earned runs over his last couple starts, as well as the run differential, I think I'm going to have to go to minus 122 on the Tampa Bay Rays here. This is one I came in to the show, 50-50 on who do I like, who do I love today. And I was kind of between both of them. I like Noah Cameron a lot, but I also think Griffin Jacks, you keep saying to yourself, is he due for regression? Is he due for regression? But he's not. He's not regressing. He's pitching under a sub-4 ERA consistently. And these bats for the Tampa Bay Rays are hot. Until they cool off, I want to be on that side of the mound and that side of the plate with the Tampa Bay Rays. I like what I've seen out of them, guys. And if you wanted to look at some props over here, guys, you just go to the suspects. It is recommending some Ks. What that is, it's kind of like a steal or a block in the NBA. It's all you need is one, and it cashes. So it's saying Jack Caglione for 1 strikeout today, where that would mean Griffin Jacks Ks him up, and that would cash. I believe Bet365 and DraftKings both have those props. Look at Carter Jensen for a hit. Look at Yandy Diaz for a hit, or 1 base. You could take him for just a hit. And then total bases, Caminero over 2. It's got some nice little suspects out of this game to take a look at, especially if you're a pro or elite subscriber, guys. Go take a look. All right, next one up, we got Padres taking on the Cubs. I don't really love this one either. This one was one of those where it looked like Vegas reacted to the weather and jacked the lineup. You normally don't see 11.5 run lines out there, total run lines. Or I said run lines. Yeah, totals. You don't normally see 11.5 totals out there in Wrigley. It's normally like an 8.5, 9.5. They're expecting one of these games to be high scoring because of the favorable weather out there. JP Sears, let's take a look at his numbers here. Over his last couple starts, or his 1 start, I should say, because the other ones were in March over in preseason. But Sears, in his last start, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, respectable. Matthew Boyd, we know that he hasn't been too hot for the Cubs this year, but most of his really bad games came early in the season, where he gave up, the 5 runs right there in April, 2, 1. Then on opening day, he gave up 6 to the Nats. Look, guys, I think I'm going to have to back the Cubs here. Matt Boyd's been playing better over the last 2. The San Diego Padres still, even though they're trending in the right direction, they still show me that they're struggling to hit the ball well. Chicago has a clear edge on the run differential. They're playing at home. Matt Boyd is trending in a better direction. Even BlowOutAlert flags that he is trending in the better direction right now. I'm going to have to agree with it. I'm going to go with the Chicago Cubs here on the money line, minus 156. And we'll keep it moving into the next one. Houston Astros and the Twins. For me, this is one side I want to be on only, and that's because of Joe Ryan. Look, the Astros bats have been absolutely phenomenal. I like what I've seen out of them. They play better baseball at home. But Joe Ryan has pitched really well. This Twins team has backed him up in the starts with the bats. I think Mike Burrows is a gettable pitcher. I mean, he's not hateful, but he's gettable. Look, back here on the 13th and 7th, early June, giving up a lot of earned runs. Last 2 starts, good starts. Joe Ryan, on the other hand, has been pretty lights out with the strikeout stuff. 4 earned runs in his last one. That wasn't the best start. This one against the Rangers, he absolutely shut him down, giving up no earned runs, giving 5 solid innings. I want to be on the Twins here because I don't want to pay the price. I thought that line would be a little bit more expensive. Look at that, Astros. But I'm going with the Twins here, minus 115. BlowOutAlert agrees. They give the edges to Minnesota. I think that Joe Ryan's 30% strikeout rate is something you can't overlook. It keeps these bats quiet off the board. If you wanted to give a look at the first 5 to avoid the bullpen with the Twins, I agree. But the Astros bullpen isn't much better either. We saw them try to give away that game to the Tigers late the other day as well. All right, give me the Twins. We'll keep it moving. Miami Marlins, Colorado Rockies. We leaned towards the Rockies yesterday. Miami Marlins made a nice late comeback. That was one I gave out on the show. Said, hey, take the plus 1.5 on the Rockies at minus 120. It looked like the Rockies had it handed in about the 6th inning, and then they just let it go. And you never know what you're going to get out of the Rockies. Today it looks like it's going to be Kyle Freeland, where the Miami Marlins have hit lefties really well this season. Kyle Freeland, 7 ERA, nothing to write home about. Yuri Perez has played better actually at Coors Field. He has a sub-4 ERA when he goes to Coors. So I like Yuri Perez here at Coors Field. I like the Miami run line differential that they have backing them. They've shown us all season long they can get tough wins and tough games. I don't think this will be one of those tough games. I think Miami can get to Kyle Freeland early and quick. I think that they can stretch this thing out. Yuri Perez can keep these Rockies bats off the board early, build a cushion for this Miami Marlins team to get into a hitting groove. Give me the Miami Marlins here on the money line, minus 136. Once again, blowout alert, leaning that side. All right, here we go, guys, into Angels and Mariners, minus 193. Man, I wish the juice wasn't so much. But look, that's the books for you guys. Anything you know, they already know. If it's a good play, they're going to juice it. And I'll tell you why the Mariners money line is a good play. If you want to lay the run line, go for it. That's what I'm going to recommend. Take the run line, get some value here. Brian Wu has been absolutely lights out at home. He has thrown 9 Ks. He has given up little earned runs. Most of his bad starts came in Camden, in Pittsburgh. He struggled on the road some this year, but at T-Mobile Park, this guy is playing some really good baseball. I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners here on the run line. Once again, agree with blowout alert in these edges. The ERA is almost sub 2 ERA with Brian Wu at home. Look at this, guys. Over here on the engine edge. Starting pitcher home venue edge. ERA 2.0. On the road with Soriano 6.4. I think that these Mariners bats can get after these Angels today. I think that they can win this thing. They're a better team at home, clearly. They have been all season long. Brian Wu has been an absolute beast at sleeping in his own bed and coming to the ballpark. Give me Brian Wu. Give me the Mariners. Lay the run line, minus 1.5. All right, guys, Dodgers here. To me, this is a fairly clear one. If there was a spot that they would have lost, it would have been yesterday with Lauer on the mound and Savale pitching. That wasn't the case. They couldn't get it done, the A's. Now they're facing Robleski, who's been good, and got 2 lefties in this lineup. Dodgers don't struggle to hit either side of the bump. They can hit righties, they can hit lefties. They put up 9 runs yesterday. I think this is a spot where if the A's couldn't get after, Lauer, they're not going to be able to get after Robleski the same. I know Robleski's given up some home runs in his last couple starts. He's given up some walks, but he's looked better over the last 2 after having that bad start with 4 earned runs against Pittsburgh. So let me go to the side here. I want to be on the Dodgers side of things. I'll just stick to the money line at minus 171. If you want to play the run line, it's not hateful. Once again, they covered by 3 runs yesterday. They should be able to cover 2 today. I want to be on the Dodgers side of things here. Give me the Dodgers on the money line. I lean run line as well. It's worth a sprinkle. Last game of the night, you got the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the Giants. Ladden Roop, they haven't won one. I think he's 0 for 10. They haven't won one of his starts. He's got 0 wins on the season, I believe. Don't mark my words on it. I haven't looked into it, and that's something that we're going to add here soon. It does. It shows it here. Loss. Yeah, man, he's been getting lit up by these guys. All I know is he's lost a lot of games in a row. Let's take it with that. All right, that's the grain of salt we'll take it with. Lost a lot of games in a row. I believe the number's upwards of 9 or 10. The better starting pitcher is technically Root. Let's just double check that it's Zach Gallen here because this is the last game of the night. And when it's the last game of the night, sometimes the data isn't always picking up because it's still a projected pitcher and not the actual starter from MLB. Yeah, it's still to be determined out of Arizona who the pitcher is going to be. Right now it's projecting Zach Gallen. Official starter for the San Francisco Giants is going to be Ladden Roop. Look, this team has hit the ball a lot better, this Giants team. They're minus 108 taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. We know the Diamondbacks play much better ball at home. This is a 50-50 game. I think this is a spot. Latin Root, you get your win on the season. Give me the Giants here on the money line. Not a favorite play, but if you want a nightcap, guys, that's where we're going. Giants on the money line. He's got a good strikeout rate. You know, I was just talking about Joe Ryan with a 30% strikeout rate. Latin Root has a great strikeout rate. Really, outside of Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll, this team hasn't been generating that many hits in the month of June. I want to be on the side of the guy with striking out that back half of the order. You know, two hot bats aren't going to beat a team unless they're hitting homers every time. And I just don't see that being the case. Ketel Marte did go yard yesterday. I want to be on the Giants side of things here. I think the Devers, Luis Arez, Casey Schmidt, Willie Adames, Jung Ho Lee, you got a lot of good hitters in that lineup that have kind of fired up over the last couple games. And the Giants do have the run differential, and that's been my MO for you guys this week, and it's been working. That run differential has been a key factor. We're starting to get to that point in the season where the bats are heating up. We always see that right around All-Star break. Guys start hitting more home runs. Guys start getting more, total base plays. And then after the All-Star break, we really see it gear up. We either see guys fall into slumps or we just see these teams catch fire. So give me the Giants here. I think they get it done. Latin Root, you get a win tonight. All right, that's the show, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Once again, Onyx Odds, spend 10, get 200 in bonus bets. You can get that in the descriptions link. All right. Lastly, let's go back to the radar. Let's review the slate. We're going San Francisco Giants on the money line, Dodgers on the money line or run line, Seattle Mariners on the run line, -1.5, lay it. Miami Marlins, money line. Twins on the money line. Chicago Cubs on the money line. Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. Might want to give them 1.5 a look there as well. Brewers, lay the run line, -1.5. Atlanta on the money line. Washington Nationals on the money line. New York Mets on the money line. Detroit Tigers against the Yankees on the money line. Screwball on the bump. Let's see if you can get a win here. Texas Rangers on the money line. Philadelphia Phillies with Chris Sanchez on the mound, -1.5 on the money line. And then to start the day out at 6:40, we're going to go with the Baltimore Orioles on the money line. All right, guys, that's the slate. That's the show. Make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. And you know what we're about to do. Book the one way. See y'all next time.